Okay, and first step was really that I need to take this wheel cover out, and then I need to open this wheel bolts that I can lift this. I can take this wheel out, and I take my tool next. Okay, and then we need socket, what size is 21, and then long bar, and then we can start to open that bolt, and a little bit U in there, and I insert my tool in here, and that way. Then when it is in position, I only rotate this open. And then I do so that I loosen all of these bolts, and when they are like half or one rotation, then I lift up this car body, because I can't take this wheel out, because if I take wheel out and then I lift that body, then this car collapses. And first I need to loosen these bolts, and then lift car body up. Okay, and here I am opening these bolts like one rotation, and then next one rotation, and then next one rotation, that one, and then there's one left. Okay, and now all bolts, they are easy to rotate. I check. Okay, good. And then I lift up this car body. Okay, and now I lift up this car body that we can take this wheel out. Good. Okay, and here is this our front wheel, and now I take these all bolts out using my fingers. I rotate this, and in that step it's good to use gloves, because these bolts are normally very dirty and oily and full of rubber, and these things are harmful to our body. There is this bolt, and then when I have take these bolts, all of these bolts out, we continue. Okay, and now all bolts are away, and then I insert my fingers in these wheels, these things in here, and I lift that up in that way. Okay, and there is our target area. Okay, and then when I am planning to take these brake pads away, it's good to take in hands in here and rotate this brake disc in that position, that we can see that there is this maker. It's Toyota icing, and now actually this purpose is that when I rotate that in this position, I can easily open these two bolts in here. Okay, next we need socket. What size is 1/4, like 14, and this socket fits in here and in here, and I need to open next these two bolts, and sometimes it happens so that I manage to open these bolts using this small wrench, and opening direction is in down. Okay, Now it's open, and then this upper one is in here, and also a little bit heat, and then it opens. And then I use my fingers and I rotate this, and there is this lower bolt and upper bolt, and then now this bolt is free. And if this old bolt is too bad or too worn out, please visit the nearest Toyota dealership center and purchase new bolt. It costs about $1 or €1, and this bolt is specific bolt, not standard stuff. This must be this Toyota's original bolts. And then two bolts are free, and then I need to take this caliper out, and it happens so that only rotation and then a little bit lift in here up, and now this caliper is in their position, and then we can continue. Okay, and then we need to take these brake pads away, and normally they can open when we insert our fingers in here, and we can take it out in that way. It opens easily, but sometimes these pads are so stuck that we need flathead screwdriver, and then when I insert that in that point in here, and I have hammer that I hit that in this position. Look, there is this brake pad. I need to hit that's just in here, not in here. This area is metallic, and just in this line that my hits takes contact in that ground in here, not in this one, not this, and just in here. And then when I hit that couple of times, this pad opens that way. Then I insert that in carefully in here, and then I hammer. Let's look better in that way, and hammer is here. It opens so easily, and then I have this pad in my hand. Okay, good. And then we can start to look what looks like this old this brake caliper and these things. Okay, and then I need to lubricate these rods and rails where these brake pads are moving in here and in this other side in here, and we need specific lubricant, and this the most common lubricant is this copper paste. It is grease. What best thing is that it is really hot temperature resistant. This copper paste resists 1100 Celsius temperature, and it is huge amount of temperature, high temperature. And this copper paste is also a nice color. It's like brown, like copper. And then when I press that, my tube start to be quite empty, but I believe that there is still some stuff left. Okay, and here is this copper paste, and when I lubricate this, I can only install this grease in these areas, not in that disc, only these joints and all three sides, and then in this upper one also in here in that way, and then this other side in here. I need to add this lubricant copper paste in here, and then this upper area in here. And then why I have to use this copper paste? There is only thing. This copper paste purpose is to keep these brake pads movable, that they can move when we press our brake pedal, and then also movable when this brake disc is rotating, and also this wheel is rotating, then these brake pads, they must move all time. Okay, and that's I have now installed this copper paste in here, and then I need to install these brake pads. And now when I am installing these brake pads, it's good to check that how much we have this material, and if we have this cut and hole free, that means that we can use still these brake pads, and they are like almost quite new pads. But issue is in here that there is corrosion, and that's I need to insert in that, not in this area what is this braking material, no ever in here copper paste, but this other area what is this little bit wider and this metallic area, I need to add in here quite much this good amount of this grease, this copper paste, all of these areas, and then this is very lubricant. And also in this point areas, all of these sides in that way, and then a little bit more, and this another point also in that way, but not in here this copper paste. And now when there is this grease, I need to take this my cotton cloth and I need to clean this my pads, because I can't insert brake pad where is this grease in here. Okay, because if there is grease, then this brake pad works badly, and I take my cleaning material next. Okay, and here is this my clean cotton cloth, and I need to only remove these greases, copper paste actually in here, and this pad is ready for use. And then this installation happens so that firstly this movement that it must be in that position, and then it's good to install so that I do style that I insert this in like a little bit first in that position, and then I check that these metallic parts are in holes in up and down, and then I only little bit press that in here, and then smoothly, and this Toyota's parts goes so nicely. And then this second pad, there is same situation that I need this copper paste in here and all areas, and there can be quite much this copper paste is my experience and my work style. And then in here, because I like that things are lubricant. Okay, good. And then when I install that back, I first rotate that in here. Actually it was in that way, and then I focus this down area first, and then when we are in that position, I press down that little bit, and then when I press down, I can insert that in here, and then only press in here. Good. And then we have final part is this brake caliper, and in here we need to insert also this copper paste, and let's go to look that closer. There is this brake caliper, and we need this copper paste in these areas in here, and also that side in here. And I will show that how to do that. First a little bit copper paste, and first in that area, and then the second, and let's look. They looks like that. Good. All areas through in this way. Okay, it looks like that. And then this piston area we need also in there this lubricant, that it is also very movable in that way. And this copper paste can go also in these rubber areas, because I think that it is only better than bad for those rubber things, because there is normally so much sand and dusty thing. Okay, and now this looks good. And then I take this my brake caliper, and then if we have do so that we have replaced those new pads, we need to do so that we need to compress this piston ring, this piston, brake piston, what is in here, that part. We need to compress it back, and for that job I need to take next my tongs. Okay, and then there is of course some specific brake caliper and brake piston, these tools for to press this brake piston back, but I use normally standard high quality these tongs, where are this setting, they are settable and adjustable, and I insert this my tongs so that in that area in here, in that point, this is important that I insert one area in here and second in here, and let's look how it happens. Good. There's this my purpose, and then I open this my tongs to wider, and in here I insert in that position, and then look, I use my hands, because this is so interesting. I take a little bit bigger view, and then be carefully, and 2 hands, and use close, and then only hard pressing. And what the bigger tongs you have, then easier this job is, because now, like now, this is moving, but slowly. Okay. Okay, good. Now this piston, it is in back. And that kind of job we need to do if we replace the new pads, what are a little bit thicker. And now there is important thing, that when I have compressed this piston back, I need to do next, when I have installed this caliper in here, I need to go in cabin area, and I need to press my brake pedal 20 times hard to end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this piston goes out and it compresses those pads well. Because if we don't do that cabin area pressing, then there is risk that when we start to drive, and then when we are in first intersection and we press brake pedal, nothing happens, because there is tolerance between that piston, this brake caliper piston, and then this brake pads. Remember that. Safety first. And then I insert this my brake caliper back, and in that point be very carefully, because there is this brake hose, and this is very sensitive part, and if we rotate that too much, then it cracks and cuts, and that's we need to always be very carefully, that when we move that we check all time that this hose is in same position, that no any curve in here. And then when I lift that in back, there is trick that when I lift that in here, I need to check that this area in here down, in here, that I need to a little bit move that bolt in that way. And also in here up, that I move this bolt. And then when I move these bolts, I can insert this caliper very easily in here, and then I take my bolts and these two bolts, and when I lift that caliper it is easy to install this bolt and then this upper bolt also in here, and then when I move that caliper at the same time when I rotate that I can find easily these nuts in here. And then there is interesting thing in that car model, that when we fasten these bolts in here that way, when I fasten that bolt, sometimes this nut start to run in here, and it makes this my bolt fastening impossible, and that's I need to insert in here this 16 millimeter this frames in here, and actually now it seems to be 17, and I go to take my 17. Okay, and here is my 17 millimeter frames, and this is 17, and this part fits in here, and then when it is in that kind of position I can fasten this bolt in here well. There is this my 14 millimeter socket, and I fasten that, and then I keep that nut, and then I can fasten that bolt well. The same idea in here down, and I insert that in here. This fastening is so easy. And then these bolts, how tight these bolts should be, it should be 20 Newton meters. And next I go to take my torque reference tool, or if you don't have this torque reference, you can use that kind of wrench. And look, this sides like that sides is almost a little bit my hand, and then when you fasten that bolt using only one hand and so tight, then you could, then there is only one hand fastening about 20 in here. And let's look how accurate is my hand when I take my torque reference tool next. Okay, and here is this my torque reference tool. It looks like that, and the idea is that there is this scale, and when I rotate that adjusting bolt, that one, there is 20, what is by the way the lowest amount in here. There is 20 Newton meters this force, and then I insert only in here this socket here, and now this tool is ready. Sorry. Then I insert my tool in this lower bolt, and actually yes, and we check that if this my tool says click, when I fasten that, now it says click. Now there is at least 20, even more this force. But let's look this upper part, that what is this result, because this upper bolt, now I fasten it first time. There is this my tool, and let's look a little bit wider area, because this is so big tool. There is this in position, and then I fasten that, and we listen this click, and we wait click sound. Okay, now there is 20. Okay, and this was this force amount, and now this brake pads replace is ready, and final step is to insert wheel back, and always it's good to check that when we replace these pads, it is always good to check in that point that this disc runs and moves smoothly. Because sometimes it happens that if this is stuck in that position, then we have made mistake. Because the most important thing in brakes is that this part moves. And now remember also that we need to go to press this brake pedal 20 times because this part is moving. Okay, but that was this information, and thank you for watching and have a nice day to you.